Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mr. Hicks podcast. We're here getting it in once again, time and time again. I cannot find a hat, and I realize I almost always wear a hat when I record because my bald head looks absolutely ginormous without one. But we're going to do what we do, press on with pride. As always, I am going to encourage people to start whatever that you've been thinking about, get into whatever it is you want to get into, because people are making videos of knitting hats for cats. So if they're doing that, then you can do what it is that you're trying to get done. So I'm going to talk a little bit of football, a little bit of basketball, and also a little college football. So we'll talk about a little NFL. And it dawns on me that the NFC East in football, in the NFL football, is trash. I don't remember it ever being like this. Well, like if I grew up, all the teams in the division were at least respectable. It wasn't any dumpster fires like it is now. It's so hard to watch. Like my Eagles, the Giants. Like, okay, let's just go down the list. Like, first of all, the quarterbacks in the NFC East are just a bunch of mid. Just really, Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts, second round pick out of Alabama, great leader. I don't know if he's going to be an NFL. If he's going to be like a franchise quarterback, I just don't know. But I know this is the time that they got to find out. They got Devontae Smith. They got some weapons for him. This is going to be the time, honestly, because the Eagles going to have 2 draft picks in the next draft, and that's going to let us know, like, hey man, if he's not going to be the guy, now's the time for us to make a new move. Dak is a very solid starter, but is just hurt a lot, and honestly. He's above the Kirk Cousins line, but he's just not that exciting. Carson Wentz is a starting quarterback in the NFL for some reason still. For those of you who don't know, after he left the Eagles, he took a little detour, little pit stop over in the Colts and managed to piss off the owner so bad by losing to Jacksonville in the last week of the season that they basically said, get him out. Get him out. And when you're a rich guy that's an owner, it doesn't matter that you just signed somebody to a contract. You can just make it happen. And Daniel Jones. Giants fans, can we talk about this for a second? Look, when you hired Joe Judge, like, nobody knew who this guy was. I mean, New Yorkers were frick to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge when they heard you brought in the wide receivers coach from the New England Patriots. Like, literally, the New England Patriots, like, Bill Belichick, his coaches, when they go get head coaching jobs, are positively awful. Like, not a little bit awful. I mean, back to Charlie Weiss and Romeo Crennel. Like, flaming dumpster fire bad. Like, Matt Patricia goes down in flames. Daniels, just time after time after time. They all end up getting fired, usually from the first job, usually fairly quickly. And then, so let me get this straight. Judge hadn't even been a coordinator. He was like the wide receivers coach for New England, and he gets the head coaching job. And like every other New England coach, he goes with a chip on his shoulder, acts like he is Bill Belichick. Everybody tells him to kick rocks, so to say, and you ain't that, and they never are. And and I guess he's back. Is it Joe Judge? Or am I thinking of the baseball player? I forget, because I know the Yankees is a Judge. That's Aaron Judge. Okay, so it is Joe Judge. So now he's back splitting play calling duties with Matt Patricia, who is a defensive coach and just got off being the head coach of the Lions because he screwed that up so bad. So that's how good that's going. That's a whole other show, by the way. Just New England and its crazy dysfunction right now. So the Giants have been apparently getting their head coaches from flea markets. They did have a really good draft this year. So good this year. Our Commanders are a football team with an actual name this year. So congratulations on that. How is Dan Snyder still on a football team? Like, People think of themselves like people really think that the commissioner runs things. Like no, the commissioner works for the owners, and the owners, no matter how bad somebody is, of an owner, the owners stick together because old rich guys, they stick together and they want to have people overlook their mess when they screw up, so they don't hold each other accountable. That's just kind of how, I don't know if you know a lot of rich people, that's generally how I know it to be. The Eagles, my squad, soldier for life. Look here, man. Here's the thing. Since the Super Bowl, we've been drunk. We had a little too much to drink, and we have been irresponsible. We have not drafted well. We have not played well. We have not coached well. And I get it. We need to get our stuff together. Maybe some rehab or some therapy is called for. We also had a really good draft last year. Very happy about that. But now let's get to my favorite, the Cowboys. Bashing the Cowboys should be like an Olympic sport. Like it's honestly, everybody hates them. Everybody loves them. Either you're a Cowboys fan or you hate the Cowboys. I'm pretty sure there's no in between on that. The Cowboys are pretty much getting old, getting hurt, or overpaid, or all three. So Zeke came out the gate just balling, got paid, ain't been the same. You know, he's still the highest paid running back in the league, and he got paid like 3-4 years ago. Like, he does not play a lot of football. Trayvon Diggs, very talented player out of Alabama. He is either intercepting passes or giving up touchdowns. Like nothing in between. Zeke, talked about Zeke. Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb are both awesome. I thought they would be, and they were. CeeDee Lamb is the real deal, and Micah Parsons is an absolute monster. And Dak Prescott, he's not meh, but he's not real. You know, like he is what he is. He's definitely a starting franchise quarterback in the NFL, but outside of that, nothing terribly exciting. And I'm just like, if you're an Eagles fan, if you're a fan in the NFC East, that means that you are looking at 6 games that are only exciting in like name only. Like, oh, I used to watch this game and I used to really get excited for the Eagles-Giants game. Now there's nothing to get excited with on either side. No matter who you're rooting for, you're like, meh, it's Sunday. Okay. It's just nothing to get excited about. All right, so in my new series, starting this week, my new docudrama or soap opera, The Nets and the Restless. Yes, the NBA Nets in its ongoing drama with babyface, whiny Kevin Durant trying to force his way out of the Nets organization and the trials and tribulations of whiny children who are not accountable to everything that they signed up for. So that's my voiceover voice. Something I've been working on the side. I hope you like that. So whiny Kevin Durant. You know, like I just, pardon me. I have less respect for him like every week. It's just going on. It just gets worse every day. Give somebody everything they want, all the running mates they want, the coach that they signed off on. I don't know if he wanted. I don't know if he necessarily wanted Steve Nash. I mean, I'm sure. But I'm just sure anybody who had a chance and looked at that, like I would have looked at that and said, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and KD. No, thank you. No, thank you. If it was like for the Golden State Warriors or something, I'd have been like, okay, that's a good franchise. People to know what they're doing. Okay, but not with a dumpster fire of a front office and some head case whiny forced their way out of the team. I still don't know how James Harden just gets fat and gets skinny. Like he went like he must have weighed like 30 pounds overweight when he was trying to force his way out of Houston, and then he got to Brooklyn and he went like he just like unzipped a fat suit and was like 30 pounds lighter and was playing basketball the next week. I don't know how he did it. I really don't. KD is now talking about that he's going to sit out. He's going to retire. And to that, I would say good. Good. Why don't you sit your whiny behind out, okay, and think about what you did, because this is your circus. Those are your monkeys. This is your fault. And they're trying to get the head coach fired, trying to get the GM fired, like it was their fault that the guys that you brought in and you wanted to play with failed you. And that's not anyone's fault but your own. Call his bluff. Call his bluff. He ain't finna sit out. He's 34 years old. He's 34 years old, and he's thinking about his legacy. He doesn't have many prime basketball years left. So there's no way that he sits out games. Just absolutely not. One thing that I am grateful is it's starting to show you, like right now, it's starting to show again that the NBA is now, for a while, I don't believe, going to be dominated by one or two talented players. The NBA is going to start being dominated by great teams and great organization again. And I, for one, am here for that. I'm really tired of the whininess. I really am. I don't have any sympathy for these grown men who get paid millions of dollars and don't show up to do what they signed up to do. Even if you sign up for a bad team, if you sign to a bad team, especially if you did this as a free agent, you went to the Nets knowing that they were the Nets. It's not like they pulled the wool over your eyes. They're a bad franchise. So if you sign with Orlando, if you sign with the Nets, if you sign with the Wizards, you're getting what you signed up for. And don't be whining to your agent and running to the media and like, oh, this, I want to, no. No, you signed up with that. You married the stripper. Just, I don't want to, no. You married the stripper. It was good for it was fun for a little while. And then you realize that she's, her family's terrible. She got a kid you did not know about. And there's meth in the glove box. It's like you knew this was going to be a problem. They just dressed it up for you and gave you what you wanted for a little while, made it look good, and then they return to the form that they have always been. Oh, Kevin, this is your fault. I have no sympathy for you. So the Texas Longhorns, I always say that Texas is going to Texas. I have a theory on this I'd kind of like to share. There's no good football in Texas right now. Not at the NFL level and not at the college level. Like Texas A&M should be great every year, not. Texas should be good all the time, not. Texas Tech, Baylor's pretty good, but Baylor's never going to get over the hump. I just don't believe that. Houston's joining the Pac-12, the Big 12 soon. Good for them. But even in the pros, Cowboys aren't great. The Houston Texans are a dumpster fire. What is it about the state of Texas that y'all love football and yet there's no great football in Texas? My theory behind it is nobody can shut up and let somebody else do their job. Like if people got money, everybody's got an opinion. I think the same thing's happening in Florida, where there's great football everywhere. Everybody has got an opinion and nobody listens to anybody else and gets all the ducks in a row, everything going forward, everybody getting on board. So in a week of just catastrophes, so Ajayi Hall has been suspended from team activities for basically being himself. He did not pay a bunch of parking tickets, got a boot put on his car, and then got a ticket for damaging the boot, trying to get the boot off of his vehicle. That in itself is not a terrible thing. However, when you are dismissed from Alabama, picked up by Texas, and then you do the same type of stuff that you got kicked out of Alabama for, you look like a moron. You look like a very talented moron, which is happening a lot in sports. So, and then on top of that, so according to Horns 247, according to the team stores, the fifth-year offensive lineman Junior Angulau, there we go, Angulau, suffered a serious knee injury, while transfer receiver Isaiah Nair also suffered a serious injury, and running back Roshan Johnson suffered a sprained ankle. So these are all very contributing or starting players, and they definitely couldn't afford to have any losses on the offensive line. The offensive line was shaky to begin with. They were already planning on starting a freshman at left tackle, and now they're probably going to have to start. No, they're already planning on starting a freshman at guard. Now they're probably going to have to start another freshman at tackle. So Bijan Robinson is an amazing running back, and he's going to be running behind a patchwork offensive line. Texas has recruited very well. Matter of fact, Chase Basantis, the number one interior lineman out of the state of New Jersey, is going to be playing for the University of Texas. And I believe Sadir Mitchell is going to be playing for, or is that backwards? No, it's backwards. So Sadir Mitchell, the defensive tackle, is going to be playing for Texas, and then Basantis is going to be playing for A&M, I believe. So, yeah, here's another interesting tidbit. Hudson Card is outplaying Quinn Ewers. I did not foresee that one. But then again, that comes to show you, like, hey, we can anoint somebody as being Jesus in cleats. However, that doesn't mean that they are, and they still got to go to the school, and they got to prove it. So Quinn Ewers makes $1 million to go to reclass, go to Ohio State. I don't know if he made $1 million cash, but I know that he got a stake in a either a juice or like a Monster type drink, like an energy drink that's made out of the state of Texas. So he got like ownership stock in that. Sat the bench in Ohio State for 1 year and then transferred to Texas. Got paid again, I'm sure quite a bit. And now it's not sure he's going to win the starting job. I'm not sure what class Hudson Card is in. I want to say he is a redshirt junior. And if that's the case, that's a problem. Because I don't see Quinn Ewers sticking around while Hudson Card runs the show. I'm pretty sure Quinn Ewers transferred there thinking he was going to win the job. And if he doesn't win the job, can you, if you're Steve Sarkisian, just start Hudson Card? Because here's the problem. If you start Quinn Ewers and Hudson Card really knows that he won that job, if I'm Hudson Card, I'm leaving. Y'all can all kick rocks. If you start Hudson Card, even though he earned it, Quinn Ewers and his camp might get pissed off and decide they want to leave. I don't think they're going to leave right away, but he ain't going to sit the bench very long. You maybe got 1 year. Yeah, because by the way, Arch Manning is coming in behind him. Now, not that if I was Quinn Ewers, I'd be scared of Arch Manning, but the kind of chaos and logjam is going to be at the quarterback position is going to be ridiculous. But these are first world problems. You want to have a great program, these are the type of problems you're going to have. And I would rather have these kind of problems than I don't have any talent problems. I would rather I have so much talent that I don't know what to do with myself talent problems. Okay, so that is my show. I just want to go ahead and encourage once again. I'm not doing as many shows as I was doing because I am trying to get it. I also do the NJ State Sports about high school football recruiting. That's our Twitter page right now. And then also starting the Unloser, which is going to be another channel on YouTube. It's my self-help type program. And so won't be as much of this, probably 2 or 3 times a week. But there will be a lot of content coming from my various platforms. Thank you, everybody, for all your support.